Welcome to the second episode of our mini-series called Breaking Bad, where we shed a light on the brake issues we've had on our GT3. Today we're gonna talk about the everlasting debate on whether one should use steel or carbon ceramic discs. One of the biggest consumer benefits of carbon ceramic discs for road use is definitely their lifespan. So in theory, they should last a very long time. Now Porsche is claiming big numbers, but I don't necessarily believe them, especially with the first gen PCCBs. I mentioned road use. What about track use? Well, here is where things get a little bit more complicated, because while carbon ceramics do last longer than steelies, the difference on track is much less apparent. Another slightly less important benefit of carbon ceramic discs is the absence of brake dust due to how pads and discs interact. On the performance side, carbon ceramic discs have a much higher heat conductivity than steel discs, which means they dissipate more heat faster, and that is beneficial to all the surrounding components. That also means you will have less chance for brake fade when driving on track. Now let's move on to the obvious benefit everyone loves to talk about, and that's weight. So depending on the model, you can get anywhere from 15 to 20 kilograms of weight savings with carbon ceramics. Now I don't have the exact numbers for Porsche steel brakes, but the aftermarket PFC steel discs I have here are roughly 17 kilograms or 37 pounds heavier than the set of surface transforms discs we currently have on the GT3. Now I know we could talk all day long if the weight savings from carbon ceramic discs are actually noticeable on road and track, but from a purely engineering standpoint, less unsprung mass should result in better handling and ride comfort. That said, carbon ceramics do have one major drawback, and that is the price. So at this point you might be asking, we're tracking the car, we're going through consumables such as tires, brake pads and brake discs at an extremely fast rate. So why did we decide to go with carbon ceramics even though we had such a bad experience with PCCBs in the first place? Well, after plenty of research, we found a company from the UK called Surface Transforms. And their reputation online is astounding, and they are working with companies such as Koenigsegg. For example, they are providing brakes for the Regera, they are working with Roof, and they are in talks for collaborating with Manthey Racing as well. The thing that makes their discs special is their proprietary process that transforms carbon-carbon into carbon-silicon carbide ceramic. Now I know that's a mouthful, but probably the biggest and most important difference between Surface Transforms and other manufacturers such as Porsche or SGL is the way that the carbon fibers are laid on the disc. You see, Porsche or PCCB brakes, they have discontinuous or chopped carbon fiber that's laid on the disc, and that is evident on our used PCCBs. Surface Transforms, however, they interweave continuous carbon fibers to form a multi-dimensional matrix. Because of that, Surface Transforms discs can get refurbished up to 5 times, while PCCBs can't. Now I did some rough calculations when I was doing research, and if you're serious about track driving and if you're planning on doing upwards of 50 track days, the cost of buying Surface Transforms discs and then refurbishing them versus buying steel brakes kind of evens out on the long run. The price for a full set of Surface Transforms discs is £8,500 plus VAT, and from my information, refurbishing one disc costs £400 depending on your driving style. As a comparison, a full set of PCCB discs at your local Porsche dealer is gonna set you back around 20,000 euros, which is twice as much as a set of Surface Transforms discs and roughly 6 times as much as a set of aftermarket PFC steel discs. So to sum this up, we decided we're gonna stay on carbon ceramics because of all the benefits I mentioned, but instead of buying a new set of PCCB discs, we decided we're gonna go with Surface Transforms that can be refurbished up to 5 times. And on the long run, that costs roughly the same as buying more steel discs. So that's it for this episode. I know you have thoughts on whether steel brakes or ceramics are better for track use, So please let me know in the comments, like the video if you learned something new, and stay tuned for the third and last episode of this series where we talk about the issues we had with the new carbon ceramic brakes. Until then, stay shifted.